All right, welcome back to Big Slack Off-Road. We're here today to do an unboxing of the attic rack for the Landcruiser 100 and do an installation video of it also. So if you see here, we got the box packed, ready to go. We're just not taped at the top. We're going to take it out now and we're going to do an installation video. We did do one of these a few years ago. We made some changes to the attic rack now to the way it installs. It's not necessarily harder, it's just a little bit different. So follow along. So you pull the packing paper off the top. You'll have two mounting brackets in the top, sticker, and you'll have the fasteners here. So we're going to take this off and we're going to put it in the back of the Landcruiser here. Of course, we want you to put this in a great spot where everybody can see it. Then we'll start unwrapping things and getting our fasteners laid out. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to bolt the wings on it, the actual mounts. So you have these bolts here, and that's a 9/16 socket and wrench. I have both of those right here. And it's your preference in or out. I'm putting them inward like this, but really it does not matter. There's a serrated nut that goes on the other side. And there's slots both directions, so you have a little bit of play once you get it up there to adjust it some. All right, we'll come over here to the other side. That's the bracket for the other side. The nuts off the bolts. And same thing. We'll just line this up on the outside. There's 3 slots on the outside of each one of these. One is vertical, one's horizontal, and it gives you that flexibility when you're installing it. And it's good to leave these loose because when you put it up in there and you got to start the screws that hold the attic rack in, which are where your handles are. You have a little bit of flexibility up and down with each one of these. So just leave them a little bit loose and then we'll tighten them up. All right, now for the actual installation of the rack in the Landcruiser, depending on whether or not you have your 3rd row seats in here or not, you're going to want to stack boxes or totes up so that you can put the rack on top of it to start your screws. Now, alternative, if you have a second person, it's a whole lot easier, but in this case, we're going to try it with just one in case you're doing this by yourself. So we're going to start with the box. This is a drop leg jack for our slack wagons for leveling them. We'll find that in a 5-gallon bucket. I think that'll be about the right height. We're going to go in sideways and turn it into place here. Now on the 9802s like this, you got screws that go on the side, on the driver's side, and then vertically on the passenger side. On newer ones that we're working on, they both go straight up from the bottom. All right, now you should have these M6 screws that came with your kit. There's 4 of them with washers. That's what we're going to use to basically replace the handles. Now, you can put the handles back on if you want. It's just a little bit harder to do. And it gives you a strap point, but really you have plenty of strap points on this attic rack with these holes and slots in it. So, let's see if we can get this started now. Okay, that side's loosely started. What you want to do is get all your fasteners in loosely and then tighten everything up. That way it's as square as possible. So I'm going to try to lay right here and put the vertical ones in, which is always a lot of fun. There's always that one bolt. There we go. All right, now everything's loosely started. So whether you use a screw gun like this up in that tight spot or a screwdriver, either way is fine. We're going to try to fit the screw gun up in there with this assembly. Sometimes we have to put an extension on it through the slots. But what you want to do is kind of look from below or measure how far this rack is from your roof line here, because you can obviously adjust it with those slots forward and back some. So just how square you want it and how far forward or back. There's about 3/4 of an inch. You can move it around. And same thing left to right. So we'll take a tape measure after we tighten one side up and just make sure we're the same distance off the ground on both sides. All right, so these are M6 screws, about 1/4 inch in diameter. So you don't want to get them too tight or you'll strip them. I'm going to run these up a little further. I'm going to pick up on the basket and tighten them down. I'm actually leaning on it with my right arm. Picking that side up some. Get this one centered. For those of you all using Milwaukee's, I'm on setting number 1. All right, the next step is tightening these bolts with the 9/16 wrench that we put in to start with. All right, so I'm going to measure, for me, I'm going to measure from the seat because I'm right above the seat. About 24 inches there and about 23.5 there. So I'm going to see if I have enough movement on either one of these to get that to be straight. And there's a lot of different points you can measure from for this. This is not rocket science here. These are in a little bit of a bind for me tightening that bracket up against the ceiling. I'll loosen them up just a little. Your other alternative to putting this thing in is if you want to put these brackets in first and then put the rack in, there's nothing wrong with that. So we're at 24 over here now. So we'll tighten these up just a little bit over here. So this side doesn't twist or move any. If you want to take it a step further, you can measure all 4 corners and get it perfectly off the floor. I'm going to check this one, make sure we're still just about 24 off. From here, a little high. I'm going to pull that down some. Same on the other side now. All right, so now we're going to tighten all 6 of those bolts down. 3 on each side. And they're 3/8 bolts. They got a serrated edge on them, and they're 9/16 on both sides. So if you get one 9/16 out, that'll work for both of them. Okay, those are all tightened up now. So for those of you that want some numbers, so we were 24 inches off the back of this seat right here. I'm trying to get your number from the floor to this, because you may have some stuff you want to mount in here or already have mounted. So from here up, you're looking at about 34.5 inches. Try to get that better on camera. Let me squeeze this tape measure in here. Yeah, 34.5 inches from the floor to that. Now, those of you that haul children in the back seat, let's get you that measurement. Those of you that haul children have crayons. The distance from here up, from where you actually put your booty, is just under, it's like 27 7/8 of an inch there. That's sitting on the fabric. A little further back, about 28. So if you have a very small child, you can fit them there in their car seat. So you have to make sure your car seat's under that level, and then the 5-point harness, of course. If they're much bigger than that, they're going to bonk their head on it. We don't want that at all. So I would say you have to think about what's the safest thing for them as far as hauling them back here, or any gear in these seats. So you can fit 20, 28.5 inches or so in this spot. Same all the way across. So you have your dimensions, 34.5 and 28. So hope you all enjoy this installation video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.